Welcome to Living in Philadelphia Suburbs. I'm Neil, and what we're going to take a look at today is what happens if you make a mistake. Have you ever started to watch a movie or maybe taken a book out from the library and started to read it, and you realized that you didn't like it, you weren't interested in it, you wish you had never started watching it or started reading it? I know I have, and you probably have too. What's my point? Well, if you buy a house and you decide you don't like where you live, you have a big problem. So that's why I like to make these comparison videos. You know, we've been looking at some of these suburban towns here in Montgomery County, and recently we've looked at Collegeville, Conshohocken, and Bridgeport, and those are the three we're going to focus on today. Which one's best for you? Not just which one's better, but which one's best. If this is the kind of information you like, find interesting, if you get value from, like it, share it with your friends who may also be thinking about the same kind of thing, and subscribe to my videos. You could also leave a comment down below. Be able to respond to those in the future with new and better videos. All right, let's get into it. Let's take a look at Collegeville, pros and cons, and we're going to compare and contrast those to both Bridgeport and Conshohocken. So let's take a look at pros first of living in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. Number one of the highly rated school districts. These opinions, for want of a better word, although they're based on hard data, come from niche.com. When I talk about crime, I get statistics from the FBI. And when I talk about anything demographic, I usually get it right from the U.S. federal census. Collegeville is part of the Perkiomen School District, highly rated schools. Collegeville, low crime. Collegeville, convenient location. Collegeville, great outdoor recreation opportunities and trails. Thriving local economy, community-oriented atmosphere. And last but not least, the taxes are a little bit lower in Collegeville than they are in some of the surrounding communities of Montgomery County. What are the cons? The convenient location is so convenient unless you have an automobile, because that's the only way you can get around. The housing is a little bit higher priced than the average. Traffic on Route 422, which we talked about, was the Provincetown Collegeville vlog, which I hope you took a look at. 422 can get really backed up and makes a commute into Philadelphia one of those things that nobody looks forward to. Collegeville's really pretty quiet. There's a distinct lack of nightlife and entertainment. Yeah, there's the college, and there's a lot of good things around the college, but if you're looking for the club scene, if you're looking for a place to go dancing, live music, if you're looking for a plethora of restaurants, Collegeville is not the place. But again, it's fairly close to King of Prussia. And again, the world is your oyster if you go over to KOP. So those are the pros and cons in a nutshell. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper and break these down. Okay, first pro we talked about was the schools. If you're a single person, the schools maybe don't mean anything to you, but if you're ever thinking about resale, schools are what families look to first because they want to get most bang for their buck for their taxes. And, you know, let's face it, private school, $50,000, no problem. So if you have the money, it's one thing. If you don't want to spend an extra $50,000 on sending Junior or little Janie to school, it's something to think about. Collegeville is part of the Perkiomen Valley School District. It's highly rated by niche.com. It's one of the better school districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It's known for basically high test scores, strong extracurricular activities, and a high college acceptance rate. So if education, secondary and elementary education are important to you, that's a priority and a major advantage. Let's talk about crime. Collegeville is not known for its crime. Collegeville is known for its low crime, according to the FBI. And that makes it one of the safer areas and communities in Montgomery County. And let's face it, that appeals to everybody, single people, families, and retirees, all. The location, yeah, it has a convenient location, but there is no public transportation available. If you want to take the train, you have to drive to Norristown. But you have Route 422, King of Prussia is about 15-20 minute drive, a little over an hour drive to the airport. Downtown Philadelphia is approximately 45 minutes. That's not so bad. If you go the other way towards Phoenixville, which is a pretty happening place these days, it's only 10 minutes away. Outdoor recreation and trails. Collegeville's still in the middle of kind of a farm area, and that's a good thing. Nice fresh air, all of that, but also the Perkiomen Trail, which runs along the Perkiomen Creek. It's rails to trails. It's about 20 miles along the creek. And, go back and look at the vlog. It's really kind of beautiful. There's also Skippack Creek is surrounded by the Evansburg State Park. Last I looked, has over 3,500 acres. All kinds of equestrian trails, hiking trails. They allow hunting during in-season. Skippack Creek is a trout stream. It's stocked with trout. Really pretty nice. A lot to do outside, in and around Collegeville, PA. Collegeville is a good position for shopping. There's not a lot of small shops in Collegeville itself, but the Providence Town Center is packed with both small local stores and national chains. And again, you have a 15-20 minute drive to King of Prussia Mall. So it's very convenient that way. Thriving local economy. Pfizer has headquarters out there. GlaxoSmithKline has a big facility over there. So there's plenty of job opportunities. According to what I've recently read, unemployment in that area is lower than the rest of the state, which means, let's face it, if you could live in Collegeville and drive to Glaxo, you're talking about a 5-minute commute. Who doesn't like that? You could run over there. And I like that. You know me, if we can walk, it's always better. Community-oriented atmosphere. Collegeville has Ursinus College, a lot going on culturally. Berman Arts Museum, a lot going on around it. If you're the kind of person interested in lectures, intellectual activity, art, it's good for that. There's also the Collegeville Fire Company's annual carnival, and Collegeville, like many towns today, has their weekly farmers market in the spring, summer, and fall months. And last but not least, the taxes in Collegeville tend to be lower than the surrounding areas. And who doesn't like to pay less and get more? I don't know about you, but I certainly do. So don't forget, if this is the kind of thing that interests you, let me know. If you want to take a look at Collegeville, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a phone call. I want to help you make a smooth move in the Philly suburbs. And as always, I don't care if it's 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months. So now we've looked at some of the pros of Collegeville. Let's look at some of the opposite side, what you might call the cons. Collegeville has limited public transportation. So if you don't have a car, Collegeville's probably not the place for you. If you have a car, you can drive to Norristown Transportation Center. And as we've said before, the train is there, the regional rail, and the Norristown high-speed line, the light rail, and the buses. During commuting times, if you're going to King of Prussia on Route 422, if you're trying to get to Route 76, the Schuylkill Expressway, hit the Blue Route, go down into Delaware County, head to the airport. At rush hour, things can be congested. You have to plan around it. Lack of nightlife and entertainment. Collegeville is not jumping on Friday night. If you're looking for that, you're probably looking to Conshohocken. And that's about it. So there it is. What's holding you back on Collegeville? Lack of public transportation, which maybe means something to you, maybe doesn't. A little bit higher cost of housing, because we saw that, the houses we saw were up there in the higher price range. Sometimes traffic, and a lack of restaurant choices, nightlife and entertainment. None of those things might matter at all. Only you can decide. If this is the kind of thing you're interested in, send me a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll keep this channel going, answering your questions. Okay, so I promised I would compare Collegeville to both Bridgeport and to Conshohocken. Now, we're not touching on everything. So if you need more details, if you have more interest, if you want to get down to the true nitty-gritty, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a phone call. I'm here to help you make a smooth move in the Philadelphia suburbs. The more information you have, the better decision you can make, because I don't want you to end up like we talked about at the beginning with that movie that you don't like, but you have to stick with it because you paid $500,000 for it. I want you to be happy with your choice. Let's compare Collegeville, Bridgeport, and Conshohocken. Schools. Collegeville, Perkiomen Valley School District, highly rated. Conshohocken, Colonial School District, highly rated. Bridgeport, Upper Marion Area School District, rated above average. I don't have any kids in high school or elementary school at this time of my life, so you'd have to do a little bit more research to make that determination. Safety, according to FBI, Collegeville is very safe, Conshohocken is safe, and Bridgeport has a moderate crime statistics, maybe because of its proximity to Norristown and some of those lower income areas. Public transportation, Collegeville, limited. Bridgeport, the SEPTA bus, Norristown high-speed line, and the proximity to the transportation center in Norristown to catch the regional rail. Conshohocken, excellent. You know, we've looked at the trains, we've looked at the buses, we've looked at Conchid Cab. There are myriad ways to get around Conshohocken without an automobile. Both Bridgeport's a walkable town, but with a little bit lack of shopping, where Conshohocken is totally walkable town with a number of really good small shops. Taxes. Collegeville, no earned income tax. Bridgeport and Conshohocken both have a 1% earned income tax. Commutes. If you're commuting to Philadelphia, Collegeville, basically car's your only option. 45 minutes. Bridgeport, 35 minutes. You can take the train or the bus. And Conshohocken, 25-minute train ride to Center City. Housing costs. Conshohocken and Collegeville are basically the same. Bridgeport, considerably lower, as we looked at. Can save hundreds of thousands. Outdoor recreation. Collegeville has the Perkiomen Trail, Evansburg State Park. Bridgeport has the Schuylkill Trail, Schuylkill River Trail, and the ties into the Chester Valley Trail, and also Conshohocken Schuylkill River Trail. All three of these towns have great parks and great organized recreational activities. So they're all really pretty good that way. Nightlife and dining, definitely Conshohocken comes out on top of that. Bridgeport, we've looked at some of the places over there. It's growing, it's coming to life. And Collegeville, still kind of limited. I think maybe the kids are hanging out in their dorm rooms on Friday night. I don't know. Job market. For Collegeville, the big local employers are the drug companies, Pfizer and SmithKline, GlaxoSmithKline. Bridgeport, you're going to have to maybe travel outside of town, but there's the county across the river in Norristown. You're only a few minutes down the road to King of Prussia and a few minutes in the other direction to Conshohocken, where there's strong business presence, a lot of big office buildings, all kinds of national and international as well as local businesses. So I know that's kind of a detailed comparison and contrast, but there you have it. So, which town is best for you? Collegeville, top-rated schools, quiet suburban atmosphere, great outdoor activities, and if you don't need any public transportation. Choose Bridgeport if you want affordable housing, if you want good access to public transit, and you want that small town feel, but a more urban environment and closer to the city. And Conshohocken, if you need SEPTA public transportation, that's your option. That's your choice. If you want walkability and nightlife, Conshohocken. And if you want that more urban, vibrant atmosphere, again, Conshohocken. If you would like to take a deeper dive into these, let me know. Shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call. We can do that on a one-to-one basis because I want to help you make a smooth move in the Philadelphia suburbs. Hey, this is Neil. Thanks for watching Living in Philadelphia Suburbs. I'll see you again soon.